Okay, this is going to be a pretty cool shootout today. I'm just going to be going through and comparing playability and tone of the Eastman T486 over here versus the guitar that it was kind of inspired by, I believe. So this is a 63 335. So let's check them out. So today we're going to start with this 63 Gibson. It's had some modifications, but the things that really matter, like the pickups and the neck, they haven't been changed, so we're going to use that to kind of gauge. The neck on this year, the 60s necks, are a little bit thinner. They're 1 11/16, and they're a little bit narrower this way too. They kind of V up and get full size here at the 12th, 15th fret, but I'm so used to like wizard necks and stuff that widen out and are a lot flatter. So it feels a little bit weird to have both be kind of narrow this way and narrow this way. But it feels good, setup's good. Let's go through it a little bit. So this is gonna be on the bridge pickup, and we're playing that orange rocker back there, just kind of on like a medium classic rock kind of distortion. Okay, this is going to be the bridge pickup on the exact same amp with the same settings. Okay, so this is the Eastman. Very, very similar weight. Feels really nice. Obviously, there's a big difference in feel because this is gloss and that one's kind of worn off a lot of its finish. The neck is a much more traditional kind of modern profile, so a little bit thicker. Still pretty narrow, but it fills up my hand in a way that I'm more used to. It kind of took, I don't know, 50, 60 years to get everyone to a certain agreement on kind of neck size. So this is going to fit a larger hand a lot better. But it still feels really good. I measured it. It's a 1 13/16 nut width, which is, I mean, you're just talking about a couple sixteenths, but it makes a huge difference in feel. It's crazy. But it feels good, fills up the hand nice, and it's a really nice, consistent width change in comparison to the last one. Same with the neck depth. It kind of stays the same depth all the way up to the 17th fret. So yeah, let's compare some of the sound. Okay, this is going to be the neck pickup on the same amp, same settings. Okay, this is going to be the 335 on the neck pickup. Okay, this 63 is definitely a daily player for a friend of mine who let me borrow it just for this shootout. It's in great condition, but it's definitely a player's guitar. He's put plenty of time on this thing. But the original pickups and I believe the original tailpiece, so pretty cool guitar. Changed out the roller nut just to make the tuning a little bit more, the roller saddle, just to make the tuning a little bit more reliable. Same thing with the tuners and the nut. But absolutely cool guitar. One thing I want to point out is just because I love it. I love natural relicking, man. The stuff that happens to a real guitar over the years, it's just the coolest. I'm going to flip this over so you can see all the checking. Like I said, this definitely had its time, but if you're into relicking guitars, this is like a perfect model for what you want them to look like after a couple decades. So kind of cool. Okay, check out the Eastman. Absolutely beautiful guitar. A couple small differences from the 335. So obviously the inlays are a little bit different. It looks like they're modeled after the 345 model, just kind of some of the premium features. Also, if you look at the F-holes on this model, they're actually bound, which is pretty sweet. You can see here clearly they're not. Also, one other note, if you look at the binding, it's got multiple layers to it, right? So it looks like 2 white lines and then the actual binding layer on the outside. Compare that to the single layer on this. So I'll have to grab one of the 345s and see if that's a feature of just the guitar line or if that's general for all the series. Up to the headstock, you can see no binding on the Gibson, and clearly pretty decadent binding on the Eastman. Okay, I will let you draw your own conclusions, but my opinion, they're kind of very different guitars. Obviously, the weight is very similar, shape, and all the ergonomics. But this has a much thinner neck, and this one's a little bit more traditional. Typically I like a satin neck, but this gloss neck feels really nice. This one just feels a little bit more like what I'm used to from like a generic, just pick up a guitar and go. But the tone is great. I think the bridge pickup on this one was a little bit lighter in distortion, kind of sounded more Strat-like, which is not a bad thing. If you're out gigging a lot, you kind of want some clarity out of the neck pickup, so they did a really good job with that. Plenty of bite and clarity on the bridge pickup. I mean, this thing's a monster, so I've always loved these 335s, and it's not like this has been replaced completely with this, but they're both wonderful guitars. If I could choose, I could choose both. So, okay, let us know if you have any other questions in the comments, and thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you get a chance so we can do more shootout videos, and let us know in the comments which kind of guitars you want us to do shootout next. So, we'll see you soon.